What's going on, everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. I am Danny K, and today we're going to talk about what we always talk about, a little bit of news, a little bit of what's going on in the crypto space. I know I haven't uploaded or made a video in a little while. I'm not really good with consistency, but I'm hoping to change that over time, but we will have to wait and see. Anyways, what I'm planning on talking about today, we got a couple different things. Bakkt is finally opening up its Bakkt warehouse where people can start storing their Bitcoin for their Bitcoin traded futures. We also got Binance opening up a lending platform. The other thing, another crazy thing going on with the XRP community, and just some people just freaking out and flipping out about that. And I know there's this whole drama going on with Craig Wright, but let's face it, he's not Satoshi. I don't care. I don't want to waste my time on it, and I don't want to waste your time on it either. So anyways, without further ado, let's jump into that. All right, so first up, just announced today, Bakkt and the people doing the Bakkt futures, excuse me, just announced via Twitter on August 28th, the much anticipated crypto trading platform Bakkt announced on Twitter that its qualified custodian, Bakkt Warehouse, will begin offering storage for customers' Bitcoin in early September. Storage will start weeks before the scheduled launch of its platform for daily and monthly crypto futures in the United States on September 23rd. The platform will enable physical delivery of Bitcoin with end-to-end regulated markets and custody. The Bakkt Warehouse, a part of Bakkt Trust Company, was developed using the same cyber and physical security protections as New York Stock Exchange, which is also operated by Bakkt's parent company, Intercontinental Exchange. Bakkt physically delivered futures have been the subject of much anticipation from the crypto community as the company faced multiple delays in launching the platform due to compliance and regulatory issues. So, as you can imagine, a lot of people are very, very excited for this and are anticipating that with the launch of Bakkt's first actual transactions, once they actually go live, this is going to do a huge thing for the price of Bitcoin and the crypto community space in general. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It is nice that we do have physically settled Bitcoin futures as opposed to cash settled Bitcoin futures like we do at the CME. But I think a lot of this has to do with liquidity and or not liquidity, but volume. And if we, see Bakkt, open up their doors and there's not a lot of volume, I don't think that really stokes very well in the eyes of the, I guess, say short to medium term of the crypto currency space. But I will say that it will be interesting to see because there has been the kind of rumor or the impression that there's a whole bunch of people that have money on the sidelines, a lot of institutional investors, a lot of hedge firms, a lot of hedge funds, et cetera, that have been wanting to get into Bitcoin and have been wanting to trade it, but don't have a means to do so in a fully transparent and regulated way. And so this is, one step closer towards that full regulation that a lot of these agencies and a lot of these, firms seek. So it'll be really interesting to see how this all shakes out. I'm personally not holding my breath only because everyone thinks that once Bakkt futures launch, it's going to go, the price is going to skyrocket and there's going to be all this demand. And I for some reason, I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be kind of a slow and steady progress for the time being. And as you can see, even today, we were down, I think, about close to 7% at the low for the price of Bitcoin, dropping from about 10K to, I think, 9,500, I believe. Right now, it's sitting just below 9,700, which, is not bad. It's only about 4% loss, which is kind of, it's not great, but it's not terrible at the same time. So yeah, I think we will just have to kind of sit back, wait and see how it all shakes out. Again, personally, I don't think this is going to cause a major skyrocket on September 23rd. As you know, the old saying, buy the rumor, sell the news, and I feel like this has been very priced in. If we do see a massive amount of volume, though, come the weeks after its unveiling and its opening, that'll be really interesting to see, and I'd like to see if it would start getting some hype and energy around the cryptocurrency space, because right now you don't really see it that much in the media. You don't see people talking about it, despite the fact that we just hit 13,000 and now it's kind of tapering off and going into a little bit of a correction. You don't really see the hype that we saw back in 2017. So only time will tell. All right, next up, something a little it's a little odd, and I'll get into why after. But XRP community is threatening a takeover if Ripple execs keep dumping. Yep, you heard that right. Anger about the negative market consequences of Ripple selling XRP to its clients is prompting token holders to conceive of ever more ingenious means to fight back. In a tweet published on August 26, crypto user Crypto Bitlord cribbed to his 102,000 followers about his latest scheme for a community effort, writing, "I'm thinking about forking XRP so we don't have to deal with the founders dumping. This will be a community effort. Retweet if you're in." Crypto Bitlord's anger had spilled over beyond 3 weeks ago. He started a change.org petition entitled Stop Ripple Dumping, which has secured almost 2,500 signatures by press time. We will stage a community takeover earlier today, Crypto Bitlord tweeted to Ripple's CEO and CTO. Brad Garlinghouse, you now have 60 days to stop dumping XRP or we will stage a community takeover. If it's a decentralized network like you say, we have the power to do it. As previously reported, Ripple's quarterly reports have consistently revealed the high number of XRP tokens the company is selling to fund its investments in different firms that have a potential to grow the XRP ecosystem and to fund its operations. The most recent, published late July, revealed a quarter-to-quarter increase of XRP sales of around 48%. Ripple, however, noted at the time that it had decided to temporarily pause programmatic sales and put limits on institutional sales. It also pledged to decrease future token sales substantially. Later on in the day, Garlinghouse was then prompted to respond to what he characterized as FUD, attributing it to questionable sources. He added, XRP sales are about helping expand XRP's utility, building RippleNet and supporting other biz building with XRP. Reality is we decreased our sales by volume QQ, and since then, the inflation rate of XRP circulating supply has been lower than that of BTC or ETH. So, here's the interesting thing, right, about this tweet that Crypto Bitlord posted. If you don't know or you don't have an idea, Crypto Bitlord is basically just trolling the whole XRP community. And it started with this change.org petition with the Stop Ripple Dumping, and now it's this tweet that's blowing up. And I think it's funny that Cointelegraph is reporting this. I don't know if they're taking it seriously or not, or if they know, or if they're in on the joke or not. But at the end of the day, XRP, there's no way for the community to take it over. You just can't do it. And even if you were to, let's say you were to hard fork it, you would just be copying everything, and then all the people that have all the large tokens would still have it. And not to mention, no one would put any money in it because it's not like Brad Garlinghouse or the Ripple company would be working with it. So, it's obviously a troll. Like Crypto Bitlord, hats off to this guy. This guy is hilarious, and it really just goes to show the level of ignorance and incompetence, and how easy it is for people to just get all revved up over something angry and mad. I mean, yeah, screw XRP, they're jumping their bags and blah blah blah. And it just doesn't even occur to them that they're basically being trolled. So hats off to Crypto Bitlord. That is absolutely hilarious, and I'm absolutely going to be following his Twitter feed from now on. All right, and lastly, in some more serious news, Binance now unveils its first crypto lending service launching this month. That's right, the mega altcoin exchange, or just mega crypto exchange Binance, based out in China, and I also think they moved to Malta, but I could be thinking of something else. Major crypto exchange Binance will launch its first crypto lending products on August 28th, 2019. According to an official announcement on August 26, holders of Binance Coin, Ethereum Classic, and Tether will be able to lend their assets and earn interest through Binance's new service called Binance Lending. The services will be available for subscription from August 28th till August 29th, Binance noted in the announcement. Lending products will have the initial 14-day period. BNB will have the highest annualized interest rate of 15%, while the rates of USDT and ETC amount to about 10% and 7% respectively. So a little chart for you there. The first interest calculation period will be from August 29th till September 10th. Binance added that the interest payout time will take place immediately after the loan term matures. The annualized interest rate for upcoming phases will be adjusted based on market reception during this initial phase, the company stated. So yeah, Binance has added again. They have now unveiled its lending service in their trophy BNB currency, and as well as ETC and USDT, which I think is kind of interesting that those are the assets in which they choose. And I also think it's interesting too. I don't know if you've noticed, but about a week ago and a couple of days ago, basically before this news came out, Ethereum Classic was like pumping pretty hard, and a lot of people didn't really understand why, and they didn't really think about it. And then this got announced like 2 or 3 days later, and it was I don't know, it was kind of telling. You could obviously tell that like people that knew, behind the scenes were like, oh, I'm gonna buy a bunch of ETC and raise the price, even though it didn't really affect the BNB price that much, which I think is interesting. However, all in all, I think this is really interesting and a really good thing for the space. I mean, obviously, Binance is going to be offering leveraged trading, and in order to do those leveraged trades, you need someone to lend you that money. And what better way to shift the risk from your platform and yourself and put it on your customers and give them the opportunity to earn some interest at the same time. So I think that's kind of cool, something really interesting and fun for the whole family. But yeah, I really got to, put it off to Binance and CZ. He's really good at marketing himself. He's really good at figuring out, okay, how does the crypto space work and what can I do and how can I position myself to implement my assets and my token and my exchange into this industry as much as possible and keep the hype alive. He and Justin Sun, the co-founder of Tron, I feel like are two individuals that just have that ability of just keeping that hype train alive. Whether you love them or hate them, personally, I feel like they do some probably shady stuff that we can never really prove, but it is what it is. And when you have that kind of money and that kind of power, you're gonna obviously make some you're gonna pull some favors your way. You're gonna pull some power your way. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I highly doubt that this will be open in the U.S. I know that Binance is still working on launching its U.S.-based crypto exchange after they will chop everybody out and all U.S. clients in I think it's early September. But it'd be interesting to see if they allow margin trading on their U.S. exchange. That would be fantastic. Because that is a market that really, really needs to be filled as of right now. There's very few places, if any, that will allow you as a U.S. citizen and a U.S.-based customer to trade with margin. And if that's the case, then I can also assume that if they allow margin trading, they will also allow margin lending. And I like this kind of lockup period where they basically say okay, you're going to give us 200 BNB, and we're going to have it for 14 days, and we're going to use that. And at the end of the day, we will unlock your assets, and at the end of that, pay you back your principal plus interest. It'd be interesting to see too, if they do an automatic rollover, how much that rate is going to change, because they did say that the rate is going to adjust based off of supply and demand. So I could kind of see, for some reason, I just feel like 15% annualized, it just seems like a lot. And I know that margin cost and to do margin trading is kind of expensive. So it'll be interesting to see how it rolls out. But yeah, I think that'll about do it. Couple of good stories there for you. I'm going to try and get another video in on Thursday evening, which is tomorrow. And whether it's long or short, and hopefully we'll get it in. Hopefully next time I see you, the markets will be doing a little bit better and recouping some of those losses that we had today. But again, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. My name is Danny K, and thank you for watching.